Okay, hello, my name is Rita.
Hi, Rita.
We're from Kardashian. We're a shop and internet portal for young magicians and people who like cards and stuff like that. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, like in brief?
My name is Shon Farkua, and I come from Canada, a small place called Maple Ridge. I'm the current president of the World Organization of Magicians called the International Brotherhood of Magicians, with maybe 14,000 magicians in every country, including right here in Russia. And it's nice to see that Kardashian is an opportunity for young people to discover more magic through the internet. And for me, coming here to Russia was a good experience to be able to share a little of my magic and to maybe bring some new ideas into the country so that I can take some ideas with me of some of the wonderful things I'm seeing the Kardashians do here.
Oh, really? Can you tell us how did your fascination with cards and tricks start?
Oh,
I've been doing
magic all my life. My mom says when I was born, the doctor slapped me, and I said, pick a card. This is all I've ever done. My father was a magician, my grandfather, my great-grandfather.
Okay, so it runs in the family.
Yeah, I have a daughter. She's 14. Hannah can be anything she wants to when she grows up, as long as she's a magician. Yeah. But she can do close-up stage. I don't care as long as she does. I've always been fascinated by magic, and as a young boy, I read all the books, and then I started performing, and it just never stopped. I told my wife when I married her, I said, you know that magic is my first love.
Yeah.
And that you're more my mistress. I'm sorry, but my first love was magic.
Okay. Can you, if there is one, name an idol of yours?
Oh, I have ones for different categories. Like in dove magic, Channing Pollock is one of my heroes. If I could only name one, it would be my father.
Okay, that's sweet.
Yeah, but it's true because he opened the door to let me through to see the world of magic. Channing is an amazing magician, was phenomenal. I really am a big fan of David Copperfield because of his romantic styles and the storytelling. I think the best magician alive today is Johnny Thompson, which most people don't really follow. But he's a link between Marlowe and Vernon to David Blaine and Penn and Teller. So he's one of those very unique magicians that really stands out. I have too many to name just one. In close-up, it would be Di Vernon, Canadian magician, because he taught people that being natural is really important.
Oh, he is right, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe can you name a Russian magician of an international level that you follow?
Vladimir Danilin.
Okay.
I love Vladimir Danilin and followed him ever since he won FISM and enjoy his magic immensely. A magician who was here, Vadim, is so funny and weird.
Yeah, right.
He's
He
just
was
crazy.
fun,
Yeah, I love magic like that. And I've got some new magicians from Russia that I very much like. There was a young boy in the contest with just a white handkerchief and a red handkerchief who showed me that the future of magic in Russia is going to be very strong.
He was like 6 years old or something. He had his tiny hands, and it was incredible to look at.
Still manipulating billiard balls.
It was incredible to watch. So that's true.
It was eye-opening for me from Canada to see because most of the magicians who I see outside of Russia usually do very traditional Russian magic or what we think is traditional Russian magic. And to see somebody to do just clean manipulation was really very cool.
Do you use your tricks, your gifts in real life?
Oh yeah.
Can you tell us an example, please?
Just the other day, I was at the airport coming to Moscow, and my plane was canceled because Lufthansa has a strike with the pilots.
Oh, again.
So I wasn't going to be here.
Okay.
And the lady said, "There's nothing we can do. You are stuck. You will go in 5 days." I said, "In 5 days it will be over, and I must go to Bulgaria." And I kind of coughed, and I spit a deck of cards out of my mouth. And she said, "Ah!" And she freaked out, and I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." When I get nervous, and I spit more cards out. She said, "Stop!" And she said, "How do you do this?" I said, "It's what I do. I'm a magician. I'm going to Russia to meet others." She was like, "Give me a moment." And she made some phone calls. She says, "You are flying on Austrian Air instead, and this is your plane ticket." And it was
that's great.
Yes. It opens so many doors.
So, more broad question.
Sure.
What do you think about the future of magic industry in general? Like, where does it go?
I think it goes up. At the moment, I think we're in kind of a bad position in that a lot of young people are getting too much information too quickly and aren't accepting it. It's going by them. They want the newest thing, the fastest thing. When I was young, and I'm old, when I was young, there was maybe 5 or 6 new tricks a year. Now there is 5 or 6 new tricks a day, and not all of them are good. But they grab at all of them, and then they drop them all and grab the next one. Where I'm still doing magic that I learned when I was 12 because it was strong, and I grabbed and held on to it.
I had technique in it.
Yes, and I think now things are slowing again, and young people are starting to realize they don't have to have everything, just the best things, and less torrenting, because that's a very sad thing for a creator to know that people, not so much, everybody thinks, oh, they're taking your money. I don't care about the money. What I care is the respect, that they just steal from you, and then they go, I love your magic. And you're like, no, you don't. You stole my magic. If you love my magic, you would want to learn it correctly, and you would respect it. And this is changing. More young people coming up and telling me, China, which is famous for copying. I went to a convention, and the theme was called "Don't Copy Magic," and I was like, oh, this is great. Young magicians came up to me here in Russia and said, you know, I saw your lecture. Am I allowed to do the things you taught? And I'm like, yes, of course. This is why I taught. I said, okay, I don't want to steal from you. You're not stealing. That's why I taught. So I think the future is very bright.
So you think, like, if you don't disclose your most secret tricks, it's fine to teach young people?
Yeah, I think it's important.
Oh yeah. So it should not be like an elite club of...
No, as the president of the International Brotherhood of Magicians, I'm all about bringing people in.
That's great.
More and teaching more, because when you teach them the trick, you also teach them ethics and respect and the history of magic.
It's true.
And these go together.
YouTube is worse than that thing.
YouTube just teaches you this is the trick, but doesn't teach you why it works, doesn't teach you psychology, emotion. It just gives you a solution. Why? What do you care how the trick works? It's why it works is more important. Understanding the psychology and the emotion that goes with magic. This is important.
I also wanted to ask you if what should be developed, technique or let's say the artistic way you are on stage?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah, because I think for each magician it's individual.
Mm-hmm.
What can you say?
I agree.
What should be developed more, like
I agree.
new techniques?
It comes down to personality. I think that if I were to put importance for me, I begin with presentation, character, and then the effect, and then the technique. But above all, and it's kind of a play on English words, people say the effect, which is what it looks like. Okay. But I say the affect, how they are affected by the effect.
Oh, yeah.
So I want the emotion, the effect, wow, or sadness, or laughter. This is the affect. Then the effect is what made it. And then from that, I drop to the technique. And I will do the hardest technique if it's needed. But if I can find an easy way to do it, I will do the easiest technique. Because for me, it's all about the affect. And if I don't have to work hard and still get the same results, I would rather that than to work hard and maybe make a mistake and ruin the affect. And so it comes to a personal thing. I know I have friends, it's all about technique. But when you watch them, it's kind of boring. And I say, you have to find a balance where your technique is fun for you, but in the end, it's entertaining for them.
Yeah, it should be entertaining for the audience.
We are entertainers.
Yeah, because I saw your shows with the kids, and it was amazing. Like,
it's fun.
And I think it's also difficult because they're unpredictable.
Yes.
I'm sure that you're covering like all the
trying
to
cover, but not everything.
Yeah, but not everything. Especially that young kid who was terrified. I think he wanted to cry. He was like
almost there.
Yeah,
but
I know.
No. For me, I had a little girl halfway through the show just look at me and says, I think I'd like to go back to my seat. And I'm like, okay. And then I pulled the egg from her ear. She goes, I'll stay a little longer. And I was like, cool. It's like, yeah, I work a lot for Disney Cruise Lines, and so I work with very young children, and I love this because for me it's scary and exciting at the same time. It's never the same, and so
and they're the most rewarding audience, I think.
And you change their lives forever. It's the best feeling. Magicians are great. Magicians want to be fooled. People just want to remember an experience. You give them magic. Magic doesn't happen in our hands. Magic happens in our hands. It's the only place it can happen.
True, yeah.
And when they're young, if you can put that magic spark in their head, it's there forever. I love that. I have friends that I've known for more than 20 years that were very young when I met them, and they still have that sense of wonder because
This is great.
yeah, and I try hard to make sure they keep it. As a young boy, I grew up in a family of magicians, and I never experienced wonder until I was 25, and I saw Juan Tamariz, and great Spanish magician, and he didn't just fool me, he amazed me. And I left the theater before he began the explanations, and people said, "Oh, there's nothing you can learn from him?" I said, "No, the exact opposite." I said, "I don't want to learn because for the first time in my life, I really feel magic,
you don't want to
and
ruin
I want
it,
that feeling
That's
forever."
true.
Yeah.
I think that a magician is as good as his props. So you make your own props, right?
I do. I try to make everything.
So like your every show, like each prop is customized, and
Yeah.
so you don't buy it anywhere. You just
I buy sometimes I
you
buy
have, like,
people's things.
Okay.
I'll buy some things, but then I'll change them to be for me.
Oh yeah, so you
but-
customize it,
yeah.
tweak it.
And sometimes I will call the person who builds and say, "Will you change this a little bit, or maybe do that?" And every once in a while, I find something that's absolutely perfect the way it is, but it's usually from another performer who's built something and not from just a builder. But yeah, I think it's important to make everything your own. If you can't change the prop, change the way you use the prop.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.